Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Coldest It Takes. Another episode is about to be recorded here live on YouTube, and I'm one of your Mike, and I'm just happy for everybody to be joining with us this evening. I hope we can get some good connection, good sound. I'm gonna send the link out to John, and we're gonna get right into hopefully, actually not hopefully. What I know is gonna be a good show tonight. I'm just on some quality connection throughout the whole time here. The one thing that I do know is the computer is working hard. So, pretty good show in store for tonight. Make it happen. Whenever that may be. Switching to LTE. Trying to get that crispy connectivity. Oh, how about that?
Michael Katz, how are you?
John, man, what's going on, dude?
I am excited today, Mike.
All right, good, man. I'm glad.
It's pod day, Mike. It's pod day.
Yeah, it is pod day. I'm glad you sound really excited. You sound really exuberant. As always, we're hoping for the positive vibes, and I'm wishing you well on this fine evening here. But John, I gotta get straight to it, man.
Okay.
And I think I got a lot on my mind, man. But want to start sentimental a little bit. Last week, in basically the whole beginning of October is a interesting time of the month for me, especially. And this is the Coldest It Takes podcast. A little background is that I, as a child, as a 12-year-old boy, I had brain cancer, and
Yes.
John was kind of right there with me by my side. He and a lot of my other friends were very influential into my spirit and a lot of positivity. And that's part of one of the reasons. John and I have known each other since preschool, but
right.
John was really there for me when I was at my worst. And so that's why we stay together when I'm at my best and he's at his best, and we're always trying to fire on all cylinders. But with that being said, a lot of heartache during that time, and as I was speaking, I kind of got lost in it because that's just what it is, man. It shaped me, shaped my influences and all that, but it made me appreciate October. And I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of that whole story. That's really personal. But for the listeners, man, we're getting close to Halloween, and it's that spooky season. It's that time of year. And
That's right.
when I was going through it in my darkest of days, I was lucky enough to be able to come home on Halloween. And because, long story short, I had astrocytoma and I had bad vision. So on Halloween, I was wearing an eye patch for everyday life, basically, because I couldn't see, and I had to switch eyes. And so for Halloween that year, I was fortunate enough to be home, and we decided because that summer before I saw Pirates of the Caribbean. That came out. I believe it was like 2003,
That's right.
and so I had to be Jack Sparrow for Halloween. It made the most sense. But my friends, they all came through. Came through the house on Halloween night, and it was just one of the best memories I would say I've ever had in my entire life. So I have this utmost appreciation for Halloween and the time of the year. It's such a surreal time of the year for me. But like once I get through like the first 2 weeks, it's like then this other memory pops into my brain, and it's just the best, man. And I'm so thankful for like you guys and the people I'm close with today, and just like having that memory. And I got because we were talking, and we're gonna do a top three here of Halloween memories, because I gotta imagine that's one on your list as well, because that
That
was
was gonna be number one, but I was gonna let you have number one for that.
well, yeah.
But I was gonna tell my side of it. That
Well,
was it.
well, yeah, you could do that right now, man, because I just think that was such an incredible thing. And then we can be sentimental right now, and then we can go into like yucking it up and having a good time. But yeah, dude, I just always think about that shit, and I'm just very thankful for all my friends, and you know we're just here to bring the positive vibes. And I also quickly have to shout out one of the homies who I mentioned it last week, but he got married, and
Yes.
and so that's my man Joe Pugliano, and he said something to me, and he is a clever dude. He's a clever
Oh
dude,
yeah.
and he's very soft spoken to all these things for the listeners that don't know this man. But he said something so simple, so clear, so simple. Just keep doing you. Because we were talking about different things, our desire, and he's just like, man, just keep doing you. And that's all he said. And it's just like the clearest and the simplest messages. Sometimes it's just so wise. And so that is also something to think about. But John, I'm gonna give you the floor. We're gonna go back here to Halloween.
Yeah. So this was a awful time. Obviously in Mike's life, but in the friend's life. So I can only speak from the friend's perspective, and that's where I'm going to be at. And I don't like to put myself in the front of it, but we were all taking charge of different things. We were all trying to figure out what to do. And again, when you're 12 years old, man, you don't really know. I'm getting chills talking about it. I got goosebumps right now.
Well, yeah, and also, John, I honestly, man, I don't want you to give, I don't want you to give the listeners the satisfaction of knowing all these juicy details of
not that part.
of
But this is where I'm getting to.
of the fight.
I'm gonna get to this part because we were all trying to think on Halloween what we were gonna do.
Right.
And we were all we at recess. We were like, hey man, we gotta figure it out. So we were like, all right, well, when we go to the door, we're gonna take turns saying, can you help our friend? He's not feeling very well. He's not gonna be there. We didn't get everything more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And can we get some extra candy for him? And let me tell you something, Mike. They thought we were conniving. They thought we were. Again, because he would say they just want to get more candy, right? These kids are just trying to get more candy.
Right. These kids will say anything. It's fucking Halloween.
But I'll tell you this, and this is how I know we were good friends, Mike, and you had good friends beside you and good people. You can tell when somebody's being sincere, and I think that's one of the best things and best qualities you can have as a person is to be able to know when somebody's bullshitting you or somebody's being sincere. And even at 12 years old, man, your friends were like, they knew, and the people who were giving out the candy were like, oh, these guys aren't lying. Because we had an extra bag for you, dude.
Right.
We had that bag. And we went early so we could come see you before you fell asleep. So we made the rounds, man. And, Mike, we hit a new stride. And that was where the candy was, bro. Them king-size bars. That's where it's at.
That's where candy is king.
And you got to get the king size 4 Reese's, the big Snickers. You got to grab it. And then we had a nice, nice evening at your house. Brought you the candy. Jack Sparrow, was in the building. No, it was a lot of fun. And shout out to the people. Remember that you've had, even if you've lost touch with them, and you may not get in touch with them again, but remember you've had good friends. Appreciate that. And I hopefully think that's where you were going, Mike. But I'll let you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. We're Halloween. Yes, it's for scaring your pants off, watching movies. It's for doing all these things. But it's honestly, man, Halloween to me means so much just because of that. Like all you guys, like, dude, like, and how funny is that, man? And that brings me into the next memory. So I want to shout out, the boy. We shout out Pugs getting married. You mentioned Hindu Strat. I got to shout out my man Jacob here, because he gives me the inspiration for this one, because I know I did it. He was like an army dude for like all those 12, like all since I knew him. He was like all those years, 12 years. I know myself. I was dressed as an army man for at least 4 years. I remember there was one year when we were trick or treating. I forget who I was with. I really do. But all I remember was I was like a little freaking camoed out dude, and all of a sudden, like, we were getting chased by like these older kids in a car because they were yelling at us about like our different costumes. Like, I forget who I was with, but we were being like harassed by some punks, and it was just like a scary time. And I remember like we ran into some ladies into someone's house, and we banged on the door, and we didn't say trick or treat. We were just like, hey, like we're getting tormented here. But yeah, that's my number two.
So you got that first one, number two. Mike, finish up with number three. We'll go backwards here.
Okay, yeah. So, and then my last memory was, I think, sometime in the high school age years, of like the final years of like doing like the trick or treating and like the mischief, and whatnot. Because when you're adult, it's more of like you're going to a party, you're going to the bar, you're doing more adulty things, whatever. So the last funny thing that I recollect on is sometime in high school, I forget what year, was somebody, like, I was probably like, some other girl wrote on some other girl's driveway like red rum, which we know spelled backwards is murder. And so that was like a big thing. So I just remembered it was like one Friday. I don't know if it was Halloween or like a couple days before or whatever, but like the boys just getting ham sandwiched on a Friday night, and crawling out fucking window, and then just going on an adventure to go see red rum written on some girl's driveway, and just like at like 2:00 in the morning, and that's just like
stupid shit you do in high school, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. But John, you got a couple. Take it away, my man.
So obviously we know what number one is, but I'll give my number one, not A or B, Z.
Yeah, man, you don't have to rank them, dude. It's just fun.
But I'll give you one here. So every year, Mike and I went to different high schools. My high school had a tradition called Egg Wars. Okay, and it always happened dangerous. On mischief night. Like, it happened on the 30th. Night before Halloween, right? So I always associate with both. So what we would do, and I'll explain for the people here real quick, is obviously we'd all grab a bunch of eggs, and it would be the seniors and juniors versus the sophomores and maybe a few freshmen who were cool enough to hang out with us, right? And what we would basically do is we meet up at a golf course. Veterans was the main spot, Mike. And I remember we would meet there, and basically, again, we're ham sandwiched there. We're having a good time, and we would just run at each other down a hill like it was frickin' Braveheart, and we would just throw eggs at each other, and nobody fought because it wasn't like everybody was just having fun with it, but somebody would throw one frozen egg at somebody who was hitting on somebody's girlfriend, and that's how it ended up not going well, or you know what I mean?
Like someone's getting dinged.
Right. We'd have about like 15 good minutes of us just completely pelting each other from, point blank range, Mike, with eggs. And like, I don't know, like eggs don't hurt, but when you're 5 feet away from somebody and they throw their fastball at you with an egg, that hurts, man.
Yeah, dude, for real. And you know, shout out to you guys. You know, you guys were having an egg war amongst yourselves. You guys weren't going and egging people's house for like no good reason. Like I feel like I have mixed feelings on just like egging somebody's house randomly because I remember hearing some story of somebody like came by and like shot like a paintball gun at somebody's house like randomly. And like who does that, bro? Where you really shoot a paintball gun at you?
Assholes, Mike. And all right, so this brings me to my number 2 actually in this list here.
Right.
Was I know you know, and most people should know, deer effing season. You know, when everybody has their deer, their Christmas deer on the lawn, and then you're in high school and you drive by and you pick up the deer and you make it hump the other one.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever did that, but we did that.
So but that sounds like a Christmas memory.
I know, but Mike, we were preseason here, okay? Our preseason was skeleton season.
Okay, yes.
Now, here's
You're
the
doing
problem
funky
with
things.
The skeletons, though. Here's the problem with the skeletons, though, Mike, is you usually have to take them off something. Like the deer are usually in the lawn, right? Mm-hmm. Skeletons you hung up somewhere, or they're not always standing alone. And we would put them in, like, obviously different sexual positions.
Right, so, as one would.
And skeletons have had very much different sexual positions, Mike, that you could rack up. And I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah, you're just learning about anatomy.
Than the deer position. So it was a very fun time. We used to call, it was the pregame Christmas, and most people, they wait for the, Black Friday, Thanksgiving, all that stuff. For us, it was skeleton season. And you had to get after it. So that was a very fun one that we did, more of a high school thing. And my last one is very specific, Mike.
Okay.
And it wasn't a good memory, but it was a memory, though. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I remember one year I was 11, my sister was 9, and we went to Disney World. We got a trip. We went to Disney World as a family. All right. It was very nice. We had a great time. Stayed on, the Disney complex where they had, all that good stuff for the NBA and everything. And we went to to Magic Kingdom on Halloween.
Wow. Okay.
So all dressed in a costume. And I was dressed as Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat, obviously. Because I was more of a ninja, like Scream guy. Like you said, you were an army guy. I was more of like that side of it.
Right.
Power Ranger, ninja, Scream guy, that type of thing.
Yeah, the Scream guy with the blood mask. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Had that, loved that. Anyway.
Good times.
So we go to Magic Kingdom, and there's only, I'm not even kidding you, like 6 stations where you can get candy. And that's all you want on Halloween when you're 11 years old, or that young. And my sister was dressed as some kind of Disney princess. I can't remember which one, but it was an obscure one. And we'd have to wait in line for like an hour just to get like 2 pieces of candy, Mike. And you could take a picture with the characters that were there giving you the candy, and that was like kind of the whole thing. But we want the candy. We don't care about the picture. The parents care about the picture, right? Like your mom and dad care about that because it's memory. But we only care about the candy, right? So we get back to our hotel after, and like it was a sad state of affairs looking at our candy bags. Like, I'm telling you, like, pieces of candy.
It's like
and mini. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, dude, it's like a perplexing situation for you. I mean, think about it. Like you guys are in Disney World. You guys are in the Magic Kingdom on Halloween, and you have lackluster candy in your candy bag, like, and that's got to be perplexing.
Now, here's how great of I got to shout out Bob Padwick here, Mike. I got to shout him out, okay?
The man.
So he sees that we're pissed, right? About the candy situation, because that's all we cared about. Now, Magic Kingdom was decorated beautifully. It was scary, all that stuff. I mean, it was probably awesome. We didn't give a shit because we're little kids. We don't care. Right. So we wake up in the morning, Mike, and there are 12 king-size bars in each of our bag.
That's what's up.
And apparently, my dad went out that night and went to like a Publix, or because that's a Florida thing. Shout out our Florida listeners, or 7-Eleven or something, and just bought a bunch of king size bars for us of candy, so that we would, we'd have some. And that was cool, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was like that's like a kind of cool memory. Even though it was, like, really crappy in the beginning. So I got a shout out, Bob, Ron Swanson, Padwick on that one.
That's what's up. That's very wholesome. That's a nice way to bring it all back, and that's really cool. And that's what you basically find here on the Coldest Takes podcast.
That's right.
And
like, where do they find you though?
You can find me, and but the Coldest Takes podcast, man. It's a lot of things, and we're just like you. We're just we're a couple of guys that love each other, that love you guys, the listeners, and we are going coast to coast. I'm out in Massachusetts. My name is Mike, and you can follow me on Twitter at st_cancer. And my man John Padwick out in California. Tell the people where you're at.
Follow me on Twitter, John J. Pat, Instagram, John Wick. But please go download, subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe again.
That's right.
To the Coldest.
Available everywhere.
Everywhere. Because we got super producer Big Cat over there kicking butt.
Hey.
And I love that. Love to see it. Mike, you love to see it.
Hey, love to see it. Love to see you. I got to ask you this question, though.
Yes.
Because it's been burning me for a couple of days now that I was experiencing it. So over the weekend, doing some fall activities with my lady, and we are at a orchards and winery soaking up the last pretty much weekend of apple picking season. And so we're out there in the orchards, in the fields, big place, a lot of people, pandemic season. So say what you will. I mean, we had the masks on. They said
gotta get the photos for the gram, Mike.
Well, yeah, you gotta do those things for the lady. I pride myself on my photography skills, so shout out to me. But also shout out to my lady. She's freaking gorgeous, and we are very much in love, and I'm very much thankful for her. But yeah, but that's besides the point. So I'm getting too happy because I need to not be happy. So happy. So we're at the orchard, and there, I don't necessarily have a problem with this if you are by yourself. If you are doing, let's say, like a running activity, or like you're doing, you're practicing a sport, or you're doing something where it seems like you might have forgot your headphones. That's what I'm saying. So what I think is weird is if we're at a place out in public with a lot of people around, especially little children and families and stuff. Like, why do you need to be there, like, blaring music? And now I don't care what I don't care what genre it is, but like, just like music in general that definitely has swears in it that is audible for like little kids to hear and everything like that. Like, I don't have a problem with you listening to music, but it just seems that you don't really understand the full scope of what's everything that's going on in the whole situation, and you're very narrow-minded and only think about yourself. And I would just say in that situation, make sure you bring your headphones if you're going to be out in public right on top of people and you want to listen to your fucking music, because I think that is so freaking annoying, especially for little families that are coming by, and little Timmy and little Sally have to hear, shit and balls and fuck for the first time in their lives. And they go like, hey, and that's not the conversation the parents are trying to be having on that particular day. So like, I'm all for listening to your music, having a good time and whatever, being in the season, whatever, but just make sure you have freaking Bluetooth headphones and you can split them. All right. It's not that hard. Figure it out. And that's my piece.
So here's my thought about that, Mike, and it's actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because it's going to bring me to another point that I know is annoying as shit to me, and I don't have many pet peeves. Well, actually, I probably do. But anyway, the point being, if you don't bring out headphones, you don't get to listen to music in public around people.
Yeah, okay? Dude.
You just don't.
You lost that privilege, bro.
Privilege is gone. It's over. You are not more important than the person next to you. And that kind of a situation, like you said, especially around little kids. Or if they're hearing that WAP song or Get Low.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the song.
That's not the thing that, like, you just don't get to do that. Now, here's my bigger one, Mike, okay? Even more than the music, all right?
Okay.
As I've seen this, and I'm glad you brought this up, because it has been vexing me, Mike. If you don't bring your headphones, you do not get to talk on speaker or FaceTime in the grocery store.
Oh my God.
Anything like I saw it this week, Mike, and I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
like they're not even trying to pick out objects, Mike. Like, that's fine. If you have to FaceTime somebody to see that like, is that the thing? I get it. Fine. I get that. Okay. That's fine. But if I'm standing in line at the checkout and you're just having this wild conversation.
Yeah, this grand old conversation. Like, I don't need to fucking hear that.
But on speaker, Mike, you can have a phone in your ear. Those are things that you can do.
Yeah.
And just be
100%.
like, hey, no, let me call you back real quick. I'm at the checkout.
Yeah.
I do that every time. And most normal people do that. But the people who are on FaceTime and just deciding that everything that they do is more important than everybody else in that kind of a social situation, like, how do you deal at, like, other things, Mike? You know what I mean? If you're so socially unaware of something so innocuous as going to the grocery store or going to an apple orchard or something like that, like how do you deal at, like, a wedding? Are you the guy who calls during the preacher's ceremony? like, are you the guy who leaves his phone on ring? Because I feel like those are the same people.
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel like you're right, dude.
Like you're the guy in the Zoom meeting, like that dude who's, doing his own thing that he probably shouldn't have been doing in front of the New Yorker people.
Right? Yeah.
In the news.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? A little bit of a self thing there. I feel like it's those people who just have no
self-awareness. Yeah, dude. It's 100%. And it baffles me, bro. It's just like, I don't know.
Imagine being, like, dude,
it's like
being in line on FaceTime in a grocery store or any store where you have to be online with people. Even if you're 6 feet apart, I don't even care. You're an asshole.
Yeah, dude. To me, like, nothing. Yeah, dude. It's just, like, not that important. Dude. Like, 100%. You gotta have your headphones and gotta have more social awareness. But yeah. So, John, last two things here before we get out of here for a break, and we're gonna turn it up here on the maybe turn it up here on the positivity. Maybe. And it's a bit of entertainment news. Space Jam 2, the plot line has sort of been teased and revealed a little bit. And it's basically going to be like LeBron and his son, like, traveling through, like, a Warner Brothers multiverse. So, like, Marvel's going to be doing, like, a multiverse type thing with in the next Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. And there's going to be alternate versions of, like, Iron Man, Captain America, whatnot. So basically, this Space Jam movie is kind of playing off that. The multiverse, different universe dimensional thing is definitely been a popular thing in science fiction for probably a few years now. So I think it could very well be cool. Now, I just want to know, like, what sort of, I don't know if like a Warner Brothers movie off the top of your head, but, like, what sort of multiverse would you want to see LeBron James potentially play basketball in or visit?
I mean, the only way Space Jam 2 would be good is, and I've already thought about this, actually. So this is the multiverse I want to live in.
Okay? Well, first of all, if there's only a certain way for Space Jam 2 to be good, it's already wrong, because there's no way Space Jam 2 can be as good as the first one. There's no way.
No, well, that's absolutely off the dead. I mean, like Daffy Duck and all that shit.
Right.
I can't believe we said that. But, like, Daffy Duck and all them, they're going to be in it, and that's going to be a thing.
Yeah, well, they should be.
Lullaby, they're in it, and that's a constant, okay? And I don't even care. I don't even want the Monstars to come back, okay?
Well, it's going to be...
Here's what I want.
Well, John, they already said what's going to be in it, though. Like, it's going to be projections. It's going to be, like, the players that LeBron goes against are going to be, like, current and former NBA, WNBA like superstars or whatever, but they're gonna be like evil or something.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I know how you should end this movie, Mike. Okay.
Okay.
Well, first of all, at some point you have to bring Bill Murray in as the coach of the team. Okay, because I want him to coach LeBron's team, and they end up winning against whatever team that they have to do, and that's the conclusion, right? But you have to wrap it up a little bit, like how, the first Space Jam ended terribly with Jordan going back to the baseball field. That was dumb. That was a really bad ending. Here's how I want it to end, though, Mike. I want LeBron to walk into some gym or whatever, and it's kind of over. You think, the movie's winding down, and then Michael walks through the door, Jordan, and says, let's get a one-on-one going. And then, how the Rocky 3, where they have that punch, the punch, and it's a freeze frame, so you never know who wins or who hits them first. I want them to just check to each other. And then, LeBron, because it's his movie at this point, shoots, and you never know if it goes in.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's how you end.
And with some nice sneaker squeaks.
And I really wish you could. I mean, you can't have R. Kelly in it, but I Believe I Can Fly would be a really way to take that out.
Yeah.
But you gotta have another one, and there's great songs in the Space Jam track. So you can find another one, but you know what I mean, Mike? You throw it back to the beginning.
I don't know if Space Jam is gonna go that route, but if they can somehow work in that ending, I mean, absolute chills. That'd be sick. But for a multiverse, I'm thinking it'd be cool to see LeBron go to the land, into the Matrix or something like that, or go against the Suicide Squad, or or go as far back into black and white film. How they do that.
You want him to go into Marvel movies, is what you're saying. Forget basketball. You want it to
No. He has not Marvel movies, but it's Warner Brother films, and so basically the film is set up to be him and his son. They're going in and out of different Warner Brothers universes, so it's basically gonna be like a Looney Tunes cartoon in a way. How an old Looney Tunes cartoon Bugs Bunny would run into different frames, or the Roadrunner would run into different things. So I gotta imagine something like that for them to simulate time travel, or hopefully it'll be LeBron getting sucked into a golf hole or something.
Yes.
But it's pretty much confirmed that LeBron and I think it's his son is going to be in the movie.
Bronny Jr.?
I don't know if it's Bronny Jr. or it's going to be somebody cast as his son in the movie.
Bronny rolling the best blunts Jr.?
Exactly. But I would like to see LeBron and him go back all the way back to a real old timey film Casablanca, and then they're in trench coats and black and white, and they're playing basketball or something like that, and then they go into a Mortal Kombat movie, and then they're playing basketball, and then they come back into the future time or whatever the movie's going, and then they do whatever the movie thing, because that's what it seems like. Maybe some iteration of that.
I just thought of it. What if you went back to I know it's probably not a Warner Brother movies or whatever it is.
I mean, it could be.
What if he went back and he was on the street and White Men Can't Jump?
Right.
And,
exactly. It'd be sick.
Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, and he just posts up and hey, I got next.
Yeah, you'd love to see it.
If you want to get a little darker, American History X. What if he just went to that game?
Yeah, the beach, and he's no, I don't think so.
He's I'm done with you. I'm done with you, Ed Norton. I'm just gonna post up and I'm just gonna dunk all over your face.
Yeah, not today.
You're a bad person in that movie. Or oh my God, now you got Ray Allen and what was
He Got Game.
Yeah,
John.
He went to those movies,
but I think.
Hoosiers?
Yeah, but John, I think you want Space Jam to be Space Jam's a kids movie. You want it to be Rocky, and it's never going to be like that. It's going to be more like Sesame Street or something.
I know.
But you can
I'm
dream.
I'm allowed to dream my dream ending where Jordan and they check the ball and it's 1-on-1, and then they put a song. We're playing basketball. That song, and then that's how it ends.
Yeah, that's the
Credits
dream.
roll.
Well,
And everybody walks out of the movie happy.
Yeah, I mean, I can see Jordan coming back in at the end and being like, "Hey, Bugs, what's the deal? Like, you rolling with this guy now? Like, what the heck?" And then that's how the game starts, and it's like, oh man, we're gonna go one on. It's like Bugs is like, "Hey, you guys have to play 1-on-1 for the last spot in the squad. That's what that's what it is." But no, so
Foghorn Leghorn
Foghorn. Yeah, dude, it's gotta be.
I say, check the ball.
But with all these ideas swirling around, I think whatever they put out, it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of hype behind it, so I don't think the movie is going to necessarily live up to that said hype. But I think it's going to be really fun. And speaking of really fun, and I am I have mixed feelings on this, but after this next James Bond movie that is coming out very soon, Daniel Craig's last, this monumental Bond film with all the movies that they've put out in the past. The next James Bond is confirmed to be Tom Hardy. And John, I really want to know what you think about it, because I know what I think about it, but I want to know what you think about it.
It should have been Idris Elba.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, there's nobody I want to see more as James Bond and who's more badass in anything. I mean, have you ever watched the show Luther? And I hope
Luther. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a detective who's kind of off the chain.
Man, that's a throwback show. That's a sick show.
And it's BBC, so not a lot of people have seen it. It was on Netflix.
Luther.
I mean, he is tremendous at and that would have been good for me. I mean, Tom Hardy's tremendous. We all know that, but I'm not convinced he's James Bond type though. Like he's not dapper.
Well, I mean, he played like a Capone character. He's played, in that movie Legend. Like, I feel like we've seen Tom Hardy maybe be a James Bond type before, and I feel like it was easy cop out for the James Bond franchise to just be Tom Hardy. I think they missed the mark. They could have done something different. It would have been really cool. I think. I don't think they because Tom Hardy's not necessarily like wicked young or anything like that. He's not like he's not like 22. He's not like what the format of movies are. You know what I mean? And I think necessary. I sort of think they were maybe scared off by Idris Elba because he was a little bit older, and maybe they thought that James Bond wasn't doing as well maybe in America because Daniel Craig didn't appeal as much or was a little bit older or something. And to me, I think that's some BS, because I think Idris Elba truly would have crushed in a James Bond role, and with all the facets of James Bond, not just like gun skill, but being suave, being debonair, just cool shit, dude. And I'm gonna be hype. I'm gonna be, I like James Bond, but I truly think, if James Bond wanted to do something like really memorable and like really put a stamp and do something right, James Bond has been the same way since the beginning. And they're leaving the door open for change, but it seems like they don't want to make the change. Like Moneypenny plays a more integral role in these movies, and it's just like, I don't know, I'm slightly disappointed.
I got an idea.
Yeah.
I just thought of this. Okay, like you said, because you were talking about how older actors and all that stuff. We've never seen a James Bond kind of origin story, right?
Well, the Casino Royale was the origin story.
But no, like I'm talking like kid to like you want to go with like a 20-year-old.
Well, that would, I imagine, be a TV show that comes out in a couple of years.
Yeah, but the TV show would stink. I want the real movie about that. You know what I mean? Like at least we're changing it up, right? You get a younger guy signed on for 3 movies, and you say we're gonna tell how he became this guy, right? Like how he became James Bond, how he became, License to Kill. Like I would love to see that.
But it's hard for them to do that because they did that in Casino Royale. So like it's not as no, it is though. If you ever read the books, it's not as simple as like you make it out to be. Like it's truly like he got his first kill in a certain way. Like you could maybe make it drawn out like that, but if you want to do that, that sounds like a TV series to me, man.
Well, like how what if that first kill is the climax of the movie though? Like what training did he go through? What other things did he do? You know what I mean?
Okay. I see that.
Saying.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
If we're talking about changing it up, is my point. If we're going to change it, the franchise needs to kind of be, it needs to be a little fresher. It needs to kind of be rebooted. What about, I mean, do you know anything about James Bond's parents? Do you know anything about his childhood? Like, I don't.
I feel like he was an orphan or something.
Right, but all right, then where did he go when he was an orphan? There's a storyline right there, right?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. To me, like, I really like Casino Royale, and I think that was, I think that of after the creativity that to me, them losing Daniel Craig says a lot. Like, if he's not involved, if he's not, it says a lot because the creativity definitely stepped up when Daniel Craig got involved. Because they basically did a lot of the same things for a couple decades in James Bond until like Pierce Brosnan rolled around, I'd say.
But he also made like the same 4 movies though, or 3 movies, or however many it was in.
Right.
I mean, it was the same.
To me, Casino Royale was different. It was so different for a James Bond movie, and then now it's like they're coming back to like how James Bond movies, like, that format. And so like I would like a witty, like I would take an origin story of James Bond, but it has to be like, it can't be like a TV series that I watched or something like that, because I feel like I feel like it could be stale, like a young Sheldon.
Right. Or, but I'm thinking of like if they cast like a guy like Tom Holland, or the guy who plays Spider-Man. Like if they cast him as James Bond, I wouldn't want to watch it. But like if they cast like some guy who can play a little bit younger, he's like 25 but can play like 20.
Right.
And they cast like, and they kind of show like maybe he's 007. Where are the other 6 people below him? Right?
Hey man.
Well, maybe the original 001. You know what I mean? Like, why not explore that? Because I mean, James Bond. At the end of the day, everybody knows this. It's a ridiculous, action movie. And the same. It's just a better story told than the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, it's just something to watch. It's just something else to watch. Everybody got different likes and such. But I have this idea. Okay, it's cold take. We're on cold takes. We're coldest it takes. We're gonna take a break right after this idea here and your reasoning and your thoughts behind it. So Tom Hardy is gonna be cast as this next James Bond. It seems so. It seems that way. What if he has like a Dalton type role where he only does like 1 movie, he's a filler, and we've seen, Tom Hardy plays Venom, who is a type of Spider-Man. Tom Holland is also a type of Spider-Man. Yeah, he happens to be the Spider-Man. I think you hit the nail on the head there. There's nobody hot in the streets right now for entertainment. Like, have you seen The Devil All the Time yet? I gotta watch that movie. It seems like
I did.
Absolutely fantastic.
It was very well done. It didn't like. It's not one of my favorite movies of all time.
But it's not bad.
It was very interesting, dude. It was like I was in like in it the whole time.
Yeah,
I was like, oh hell yeah, like
hell yeah,
some good stuff.
I think Tom Hardy's. Tom Holland's got some range.
Who people are getting overrated with the range, is Pattinson, dude. Like, I'm excited for him in the new Batman because he's shown range lately, bro.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that's what Batman needs. We were talking about Idris Elba needing to be like to put a stamp on something, like it'd be different. And I think that's what Batman is trying to do. Like, it 1,000% looks that way. They get by getting Pattinson.
I like it. So, Mike, we're gonna get out of here for a second, and we'll come back.
All right, we're gonna hit a break, and we'll see you on the other side. Peace. All right, we're gonna start segment 2, and we're on our way. All right, so the second half we're gonna be hitting sports. John's gonna talk a lot about the World Series. I don't know anything about the World Series. Then we're gonna go into some football. John,
And we're back.
we're back. Coldest takes, baby. Where we at? All around the world where you can find podcasts. Where anywhere you listen to it, Coldest takes. John, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Instagram, John Wick. They can find me on Twitter, John J. Pat. They can find me everywhere that Coldest takes are.
That's right.
Listen to me there. That's where you need to hear me.
Hell yeah.
My personal stuff. Get there. Listen to Coldest takes. Everywhere you can find the podcast. And Mike, where can they find my super producer here?
Hey.
Where should they?
Hey, but make sure you follow John on Twitter, especially. He's a very funny dude, and he knows his stuff. Very witty stuff. Witty, also why it's a whole shebang. On everybody knows Twitter, bro. But John, you do it well, and but also of course. But also you can find me on Twitter at SD_Katzer. Coldest takes. Very thankful for everybody and all the listeners, and we really hope you enjoyed the first part of our podcast tonight. A lot of just random Halloween stuff and entertainment. But now we're going to switch gears a little bit, head into some sports. But John, man, I got to ask you, the World Series is going on now, and the LA Dodgers are in the World Series, and you live out there, California, and you have a guy from my neck of the woods out here. Well, your neck of the woods too, I should say. I mean, you were born and bred out here in Massachusetts. But Mookie Betts, going from the Red Sox last year, they're supposed to be, they were a really good team at one time, and then he goes to the Dodgers, and now he's back in the World Series. And so, describe to me sort of the feelings that maybe you feel as a guy, and then maybe how LA sees this whole thing, especially with the pandemic.
All right, so let me tell you one thing. So the game is not being played, or the World Series is not being played in LA or Tampa. It's being played in Texas at Arlington.
Right. I did hear that they're doing like a neutral site.
Yeah.
And it's like honestly, it's more or less like it's a bubble, but it's like what like a college football rivalry game would do.
Right. But also, Mike, it's actually literally the most neutral site between LA and Tampa Bay is in Texas, right?
Yeah, no, I do think that's cool. I like that. It's like very collegiate.
So that part is fine. And Dodgers fans are absolutely insufferable because they think they're, like the shit. And you haven't won anything since 1988. I mean, come on, man. Like that's bad. You just can't be like talking a bunch of smack all the time to like even your in division rival, the Giants, who won 3 in 5 years, and you're still talking smack because you win the division once. I like, let's calm it down there. And the Dodgers are a staple, man, in MLB. They're one of the best franchises, the most recognizable. They have one of the coolest hats, Mike. I will never take away from cool hats.
That's true.
I mean, they got a great hat, Mike. They got a great hat. Just like the Yankees have a great hat, Mike. I have to say it. I don't like it, but it's true.
We like hats. We like logos.
It's a great logo, great hat. But anyway, so Dodgers fans are kind of gassed up about it. My thought here, as a Red Sox fan, okay, and I'm watching this, is I'm not rooting against Mookie. I will never root against him, Mike. Because why? Traded.
Well, yeah, because he's gone.
Right, but he got traded, though, Mike. He didn't decide to leave. Like Johnny Damon decided to leave the Red Sox for the Yankees. Jacoby Ellsbury, same thing. You know what I mean? Like, people have decided to leave our organization, and that's where I don't really, like, that's where I can be a little more mad as a fan, if you will. But we traded him because we said we couldn't afford him. So we could get under the luxury tax. And we got nothing back for him in return. And then he signed the deal that he was supposed to get from the Red Sox, who have enough money and just as much money as the Dodgers money. They have, if not more. And baseball does not have a salary cap. There's nothing like that. Okay. And you can't sign the best player, in my opinion, that maybe might have ever played for the Red Sox if you just stayed there. I mean, he was so young. He's entering his prime. He's already won an MVP. He's already won a World Series. I mean, things that guys like Ted Williams, Carter Yastrzemski, even David Ortiz at some point hadn't done. Pedro at that time, they had not done, and he's done that. And he's going to be a staple of your outfield, and you're not willing to open up the checkbook for that. I mean, what faith do I have as a fan for you to open up the checkbook for anybody else? Right? Like, if you have the generational talent on your doorstep who's willing to talk to you and he won't do it, like, it's like seeing you dumped your ex-girlfriend and then she goes home with the prom king in front of you. Because that's what it looks like to me right now as a Red Sox fan. That's my cold take, is I'm watching Mookie Betts, my ex, go to the show with another team and get free tacos for everybody like he did last night. Hit a World Series. I mean, he's so good, Mike.
Yeah, he is. He is.
It just bothers me that, like, John Henry.
Just let him go. Yeah.
So I hate John Henry forever. He is my new mortal enemy, number one in Boston. And that's my thought as a Red Sox fan. Like, what do you got?
Well, the Rays took game 1.
Mm-mm. Dodgers got game 1. It's game 2 right now. Dodgers beat them handily in game 1.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. Well, I don't know then. I don't know. Rays got their work cut out for them. I mean, if Kershaw was on the bump last night?
Yeah, and he actually had a good game. And I got to give him a shout out where he gets a shout out, because usually people like shit on him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, usually I hear Kershaw getting the loss. So if you're telling me he got the win, then
he had a great game like last night. And Mookie had an even better game, like a historic. The only person who did what he stole 2 bases and hit a home run.
Yeah, I did. I saw that.
Like, his name's Babe Ruth.
Yeah, that's pretty good company,
Yeah, pretty decent, Mike. And you can't pay this man? Oh my God! I can't go into it, Mike. I'm gonna get too frustrated.
Well, game 2 going on.
I'll put it here, Mike. This is how bad it should be for all Boston sports fans. Okay, if you only root for the 4 Boston sports teams, okay, then the Mookie Betts trade should hurt you more than Tom Brady leaving and Gronk leaving, and both of those together. The Mookie one should hurt you more as a fan, and that's where I'm at, Mike.
All right, dude. I mean, I feel like that's very, it's acceptable. I feel like I can accept that for you. And, it seems like there's a lot of logic behind it. And,
too much, Mike. I've spent too much time.
But yeah, no, you feel hurt. You were the leading man, and not it's on sour in a way, and it's sort of bring me. I kind of want to switch gears here to the NFL, and there's a lot of storylines, and I am pretty heated, and I want at Cleveland Browns. That's not where I want to go first. I don't want to give Cleveland Browns my first NFL thought, okay? But I just will say that Cleveland, I'm mad at you. Because damn. But anyway, Ryan Fitzpatrick, dude, he spoke out today. Tua was named the starter. Ryan Fitzmagic, he spoke out, and the quote that he said was, "I basically got fired yesterday, and my day today consisted of Zoom meetings with the guy who fired me and sitting in a room with the guy who replaced me for 4 hours." And so I feel like he took something that maybe not the everyday man could necessarily put themselves in the same shoes, but then he broke it down, and he put us all there. And I feel his pain, but I also feel like some other quarterbacks would probably be criticized if they spoke out. But I feel like that's an easy answer if I were to say that. But I think Fitzmagic is wrong for saying what he said? No, absolutely not. But John, my question is, like, Fitzmagic, man, should he have been benched?
No, absolutely not. I like, and as a guy who's literally watched him be on every team in the AFC East except the Patriots, and my team's played against him forever. He's inconsistent. We all know that, okay? But he's better than a backup.
Right. Okay, John.
And here's my point, though, Mike.
Okay.
Is when you're winning, why are you changing things?
That's what I mean. Like, if it's broke, don't fix it. If you're winning, like, isn't winning supposed to heal all? Like, aren't you supposed to keep your guy rolling? Like, that's a Nick Foles. That's what the Eagles did. For to win the Super Bowl. Like, I'm pissed off about Nick Foles right now because he's a freaking legend, and I love that guy. And he won me a Super Bowl. And he won me a Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah. All right.
What do you mean? What do you mean? He won a city a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he won your city a Super Bowl. You guys don't appreciate it.
We built him a statue.
Yeah, sure you did.
But that's not the point. But like Fitzmagic, man, he won 4 out of his last 7 games. Okay, and this season he was having the best statistical season of his career. And like I don't see, I've never seen a guy get benched for like doing well.
And I think that's why he spoke out, Mike. And I'm glad he did because but like he's respected around the league for like what he does. Again, is the guy going to take you from game 1 preseason all the way to the Super Bowl? Probably not. Okay, probably not.
Yeah, but if he was gonna do it, you gotta imagine. You got to imagine that Fitzpatrick knows that. He's a fucking Harvard guy. Fitzmagic, he was probably sitting there thinking everything was all honky freaking dory. And then he was like, damn, I did too good. And then they put our new draft pick in and he got to throw 2 balls and now I'm benched, bro. Like, it makes no sense. I bet you Fitzpatrick, he was like, I've been in the league such a long time. Of all the years, I bet this was the year. The Pats are down. This is our best chance to make the playoffs. AFC's somewhat weak because it's all inconsistent.
Bills lost 2 in a row. I mean, there is a
dude.
Miami could win the division.
I know.
If they kept Fitzmagic, I don't think Tua's going to do very well putting into that role because now all of the pressure's on him.
Yeah, dude. It was
want to go back to Fitzmagic? Why would you want to go back to him at that point? Why would he even play well? At this point, I think he's going to get traded at the deadline.
Yeah, well, dude, you'd think that, but honestly, man, Brian Flores seems like he was touted. Everyone always says nice things about Brian Flores. He coached his team, real gritty last season. But bro, like, that just seems like not very Brian Flores-y type of move, bro. Like, I don't know.
It came from upper management, maybe. They were saying,
yeah, well, it had to be.
We got to get ratings up or something. Like,
yeah, it's got to be something like that, But like, maybe not even that. But like, no, it's got to be.
Like Fitzmagic, though, Mike, who's going to be in front of you if you're Tua, right? And you just get into the league, and it's a very weird year and all that shit. We get it, but wouldn't a guy like Fitzmagic be able to teach you the best? When he throws for 4 touchdowns and 450 yards, and you're like, I can't believe he doesn't do this every game.
Right.
And then he has another game, the absolute next game, where he throws for 4 picks and he stinks and he gets sacked all the time or whatever. Right. But like, if you're a backup, wouldn't you be able to learn from both extremes and be better? Like, just take a seat for a minute.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers did it. Brady did it. I mean, and people
exactly like, and even like Brady and stuff. Like Brady was gonna sit for longer. Brady came in because of injury. A lot of these quarterbacks coming in injury. Like what I also can see happening is Tua starting like Tua Fitzpatrick even said it, man. Like, he's like, I wish, Tua to do well and all these things. Because, like, obviously, because, like, if he does well, the team does well. If they make the playoffs, Fitzmagic gets a bonus check. It's like you want your team to do well, And, but if Tua does bad, then he's got to put Fitzpatrick back in, and Fitzpatrick doesn't even want to play now for Miami, and it's just
That's
like
yes.
it's a freaking mess, bro. And like, 2020 is freaking weird, man.
You're just messing with the locker room chemistry, man, for no reason. You know, like if it's working, it's working. Don't mess up a good thing.
Yeah, like they didn't really have a problem at quarterback. They had a problem at running back, and you know, like no name, not no name, well, virtual no name at the start of the season. You know, Myles Gaskin, like they weren't paying him the money. They got Matt Breida and they got Jordan Howard. They wanted those two dudes, and then this dude Gaskin comes up through the ranks, and it's just you know, I don't know. I question what Miami's doing a little bit. It just seems sketchy. Just like the guy throws two passes and sits down on a football field, and suddenly he's the greatest thing.
If we're gonna talk about shitty teams, we got to move on here to Cleveland.
Okay, let's move on to Cleveland. I'm pissed off, bro. I'm gonna call them frauds off the bat. You know, I put a lot of hope into them this past weekend. You know, I didn't lose anything.
Go off.
I didn't lose anything because of them, except my moral integrity, because I made a boneheaded thought process of me thinking that the Cleveland Browns could compete in a game against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh when they haven't won in Pittsburgh in 17 years. Oh my God, bro. They come out in the first play of the game, Baker Mayfield, not first play, but like oh my God, bro, like pick six, and then he gets but Baker's hurt and this and that. Like, bro, like I was sold. You had me sold because the other week when they beat Dallas, you're like, boy, I like the Browns, and I'm like, yeah, man, I like the Browns too. They're not bad, and I'm pissed off at them. Like, fuck the Browns. I'm off that bandwagon.
That's tough, man. I mean, well, I could sell anybody who's playing the Cowboys. I mean, are you kidding me? The Cowboys stink.
No, I know. But yeah, no, I expected a lot.
We'll get to them.
I expected a lot from the Browns. I really did. I thought that they would show up. Like, I don't know how you don't show up against it's your freaking rival. How do you not won in 17 years? Like, this is bullshit. Like, that's like a college football like bullshit rivalry stat. Like, how like
you have to shoot them out. Like the Browns are only going to be good in a shootout because they never invest on defense. They have all this talent on offense, but they don't have a coach who knows how to harness that talent. I mean, the fact that you have Landry and Odell and, you know, all your running backs, you know, Chubb and well, Chubb's hurt, but you know what I mean? You have all these like good players and you can't
materialize on the field
to shoot it out, you know, and then you look at teams like you and I where we have both of our teams have no talent on offense besides maybe one or two players.
No talent, bro.
Carrying the goddamn team.
Funniest thing in the world to me, man, is Travis Fulgham wears the number 13. I believe Nelson Aguilar wore the number 13 last year, and you know, it's so funny to see that number 13 do well.
I mean, well, you guys never saw it do well, which stinks.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why it's so funny. I'm just like, man, like, fuck Aguilar.
It's very weird, man. You know, when it comes to the NFL right now, and the Browns thinking that they're going to compete in Pittsburgh. That's never going to happen until I see something. I don't care what your record is, who'd you play, you know what I mean. Before, I mean, the Patriots were 8-0 last year, Mike, and they got doused in the first round. Right? They were 8-0 until they played the Ravens, Houston, and Kansas City, and lost. And the only team that they beat in between those 4 weeks was the Jets. Okay, so like let's calm down. Like, let's make sure you know who you're playing before we start crowning people. And Cleveland, I know you got excited about things and your fans, but like you guys need to figure it out on offense. You don't have a great defense, so you need to be able to shoot it out.
Dude, it seems like Cleveland. The stuff that I've heard coming out of Cleveland and some of the reports that I've seen on the internet is that they're making up excuses for Baker Mayfield. They're calling him short, this and that, and all these excuses, man. There's no excuses, bro. Like, yeah, Baker Mayfield could do it. We've seen him play a couple games. But like, you know, that defense, Pittsburgh defense is real deal. And I think this coming weekend,
Pittsburgh's going to be a problem.
That's what I mean. Like, this coming weekend, they play Tennessee, and that's a huge matchup, bro. You get the top-ranked defense versus the top-ranked offense. I mean, the top-ranked run defense against the top-ranked run offense. So it's going to be incredible to see that. NFC AFC North is something else. But yeah, John, you mentioned your Patriots there. I don't really want to talk about the Eagles because they're a mess. But like the Patriots, man, it seems.
We're going to talk about your Eagles when we get to our picks, but I'm going to talk about the Patriots right now.
Well, yeah, because to me, John, I gotta ask you, does it seem weird?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you don't think it's weird, then you're like not a real fan. It's very bizarre to watch the Patriots. I mean, the stat that I saw when they were like, "Oh, the Patriots haven't been under 500 this late in the season." It's freaking week 6, and they're like, "It hasn't been this late in the season since 2002."
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, that's a ridiculous stat. Like, that's an absurd stat.
Absurd,
and that just shows you how good we were and how good we were with our own system. Now the problem is, Mike, how do you get good in your own system?
Well, you got to be able to have practices.
Oh, there you go, Mike. That is a wonderful idea, right? You should be able to practice plays, right, that make you good on game day.
Yeah, bro.
And the fact that you had to play Kansas City, which they should never have played that game, versus like protocol, the way the NFL is supposedly doing this. And they played that game because it was prime time and there were dollars at hand and all that stuff. And then you only get one practice for the next 2 weeks. I mean, I had no expectations going into that game, Mike. And the fact that our defense actually held the Broncos to 6 field goals. They didn't score a touchdown, Mike. That's how bad the Broncos are. And that's what happens if Cam Newton gets like maybe 3-4 practices. We win that game. And again, that's another game where we were in it to the end, like Seattle.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like,
well, bro,
that's more than I could ever hope for the Patriots this year.
Didn't it just look? Think about this, man. Think about this. They play Seattle, right? Cam can throw the ball around the field. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, Cam can throw it again. Like, wow, look at Cam throw the ball. So last week happens after not practicing all these things. Oh, man, look at Cam. He can't throw the ball. He looks the same as he did when he was hurt and blah-de-blee. Don't you think he was just warming up? Like, don't you think, like, he just needs more reps? Like, think about it. Like, and these people are paid to make normal people think that way and not think as hard about it. But, the people that are reporting it, they know all the practices that these NFL teams were doing before the pandemic, have been doing during the pandemic, and then all the practices that they were missing because of the COVID restrictions and everything, which you want to have the COVID restrictions because nobody wants to have COVID. But, like, bro, like, think of all the reps, all the preparation, all these things that you could be doing, and then you miss it, and then you're just like, hey, go out, play the game. Yeah. It's gonna count. It's do it, and you're like, well, what?
Yeah, exactly, and especially for a guy like Cam who apparently had COVID, so he didn't get any reps, and he's still. I mean, the thing that I saw with Cam that I know he's healthy is he had like a 35 or 37, I believe, yard run towards like the 10-yard line, and then he got hit late out of bounds and just popped right back up. Like, I mean, he didn't. Now, was he blazing fast? Like, he was Alvin Kamara? Like, no. I mean, he's a quarterback. Like, so but he drew a couple guys. It's hard to tackle him in the open field. And also, he's 6'5", 250 pounds.
Great beast.
So, like, how are you going to tackle him if he makes one move on you? And you might be a linebacker who's smaller than him, like. So, and I saw that, and I was like, all right, so he's fine. It's just the lack of repetition, man. And he's learning a new offensive line, an entirely complicated system of Belichick. And, he's throwing to what, traffic cones?
Essentially.
Besides Edelman, maybe? I mean, Bird's been fine.
Well,
Harry
he.
Harry needs to be fired into the sun.
Well, yeah, Harry stinks right now. Harry,
James White missed a bunch of games because his father died. I mean, like there are things, man.
His only reliable receiver is Damari Bird, and Damari Bird was on the Panthers when he was with the Panthers, and like that's his boy, and like the only reason, yeah, like that's his guy, like that's the Cam Newton was like, this is the guy I'd throw to, and Bill Belichick was like, okay, like he's coming.
So to put a bow on the Patriots, Mike, is I'm not concerned. I always, once Brady left, I knew there was going to be a point in my life, Mike, that I had to just accept the fact that I'm going to be like every other football fan, right? I'm not going to win 6 Super Bowls every 20 years, right? That's just not going to happen all of the time, right? I had the GOAT and it's over, okay? So I needed a thing. Cam has been a fantastic transition into if you just get talented players. Oh, let me finish here.
Yeah.
If you just get talented players around other talented players, then at least you can compete. And that's my point, is the Patriots need to stop dicking around right now and invest in wide receiver or tight end. Give me something, because they never did with Brady. They never did. Ever. Like, invest in one, I'm talking about. Trade for a guy, give up your first round pick that you end up trading anyway. Invest for me one time in a wide receiver that can, run routes, make moves, and give my man Cam a little bit of options, dude. And our line is very good. So there should not be that. We have a very good defense. I think we're going to be a wild card team. I don't think we're going to – I hope we're going to win the division. We haven't played the Bills yet, so we'll see how that happens. But, you got to invest at this point. This is not a Brady thing anymore. You have to invest in a wide receiver or something. If the Patriots don't make a move at the trade deadline, then they just don't give a shit about this season. They just don't. Like, that's my take, and I'm done with the Patriots.
Right. I think the Patriots are still going to compete. I don't think they're going to. I think you're right. We're going to see what they're going to do by the trade deadline, and that'll be a good juxtaposition of how the rest of the season is going to go. But if they don't make any moves, I still think they try to win games, because that's just how Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is. I can't see them trying to tank at the end of the season, because at this point they're already behind the tanking.
Oh boy! But you know who's tanking? We already know. They're in the same goddamn division.
Oh, the Jets, yeah. But the
shit.
But the thing about the Patriots is, and your situation is, you couldn't have gotten a better rebound quarterback. If the greatest of all time is leaving your team, for a guy like Cam to come in, a former MVP, a proven winner, it doesn't get better than that.
Won playoff games. Like, this guy he's won a national championship. I mean, this guy is pedigreed well to do well. But let's give him some weapons, man.
Yeah, and I totally agree. And Edelman, he's fantastic. He's been there for a long time. Yeah, but you're right though. They need somebody to pair with him who's a little bit taller, but still has that speed, and I agree with that. And I think
Julio Jones. I'm sorry.
I guess it happened. Get him traded, get him out. But with that, dude, we're gonna go right into some NFL picks, and then we'll wrap it up for the night.
Yes, I have them tonight, so that's on me tonight. Okay, because you asked me.
Okay, all right, yeah, I got them up. So if you don't have any over-unders, I got the over-unders done for you.
All right, so we got to go with Mike tomorrow. We got to talk about it.
Hell yeah. Giants, Eagles, baby.
Eagles at home. The line that I see is -4.5.
Right.
The over-under I have at 45 on this site.
Okay.
So it's going to be around there. Mike, what do you got on your boy? Your boys.
Yep. Eagles are my team. They are still injured. We still owe Alshon Jeffrey a lot of money. I'm reminded of it every day. And it seems like he will not play again this week. Deshaun Jackson seems like he will not play again this week. Jalen Reagor looks like he will not play this week, but he is pissed. Jalen Reagor is pissed. He has been seen liking tweets on the internet where it shows a graphic of all the receivers that the Eagles passed on. And I also, this burns me, as there are many a good receivers that the Eagles passed on. At the top of the list, there is none other than DK Metcalf, who is a godlike receiver this season. But I'm very thankful for Travis Fulgham. I thank the Lord that he can catch the football. I just hope the boys can get healthy and Carson Wentz can survive a game, and hopefully our first big offensive play can not be like a Jalen Hurts run out of like a wildcat formation. That'd be nice. I need some better play calling out of Doug. But with all that being said, I still like the Eagles in this game. Eagles minus 4.5. I want to go under on this game.
Okay, under 45. But are you taking a minus 4.5?
I am. I am. I think this is going to be like a 23-10 game.
Okay. All right. See, I'm going the opposite way, but I am taking the Eagles and the 4.5. Absolutely.
Eagles and the 4.5, but you're going over.
I think we go over because, dude, the Giants, I mean, they stink. How bad the Eagles are hurt.
Yeah, but it's a division game.
Substitute players are better than the Giants.
Division game, though. Everything changes in the division.
I know it does, but it's the NFC, what do they call it? Beast.
The NFC least.
The beast of the least. I'm still going Philly. I think they hit the over. I think it's going to be I think Philly's going to put up 30. I really do. And I think, I
think Sanders was limited. Sanders probably going to. Sanders is our best player. Sanders is out. He was out today at practice. Yeah, he's done. Yeah, see, there's no way the Eagles score 30 this week, bro.
No, Boston Scott is going to be your boy, and I just picked him up in fantasy, and he's going to play the flex, and he's going to do tremendous.
Sure. I sure hope so.
I like him. I like him a lot. I've always
wait. Aren't your waivers? How could you pick them up? Aren't your waivers tomorrow?
No, they're always on Wednesday for us.
Man, you're lucky guy.
Wednesday at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Oh, that's
for them. For me, it's midday when I'm on lunch, Mike, and I'm hitting the computer.
Oh man, that's different, man. Man, that's cool. That's cool, man. I gotta see if anybody has them in my league. I gotta keep my eyes peeled. And that is the fantasy update. Boston Scott starting this weekend in place of Miles Sanders, the greatest running back that we've seen in Philadelphia in a couple of years. No, probably not since Westbrook. Since Jay Ajayi. Since Jay Ajayi.
So the next one we got is Sunday afternoon, a little 1:00 game for everybody. We have Cleveland at Cincinnati. Cleveland minus 3.5. The over-under I see here is 50.5. Mike, what do we got here? I know we just talked about Cleveland. Let's clean it up real quick because we got more to get to.
All right, Cleveland, Cincinnati, AFC North favorite division. Mike Tomlin, the coach of the Steelers, said that the AFC North, it's like a kitchen. It gets hot in the kitchen. None hotter than this matchup right now. It's the Bengals you want to take in this one. T. Higgins, you're going to put on a display. He's been due for, he's got some yards in his last game. Now he's going to get touchdowns. Like Cincinnati, plus 3.5, and we're hitting the over. And because you mentioned Cleveland likes to shoot it out, and I think they're going to get together. I think a lot of offense on this one, but Joey B and the Cincinnati Bengals. But you probably like Cleveland, right?
I know I don't. I love Cincinnati plus 3.5 here. I love them. I love them at home, and I love the under here, Mike, because I don't believe Cleveland's going to score. I just don't see it. I think Burrow's going to play. This is going to be like a 17-3.
Cleveland is done scoring. They.
I think they're cooked, Mike. I think
yeah, dude. Cleveland showed us a lot. For 5 weeks, Cleveland showed us, something. That they had something. Burrow is good. Burrow is good. T. Higgins is pretty good too. And AJ Green, it looks like he's getting him.
AJ Green is trash.
What's next?
So next game we have. Oh man, we are just doing all of your division here. So we have Dallas and the Washington football team. Dallas is favored -1. The over/under is 46.
I mean, this is a get right game for Dallas. So I think, with that being said, I think I need to say I'm going with Washington here.
Have to.
And, it's like a pick'em game. Gotta go Washington here. I'm thinking about the NFC East division here. Dallas leads it at 2-4. What a joke. So we need Dallas to go 2-5 here. And we need Washington to do that. I don't know who's going to be their quarterback. So and this leads me to ask you this question, or to tell you this. Dwayne Haskins, do you know why he got benched?
No, I don't.
Okay, so there's a couple rumors swirling as to why he got benched. One of the rumors is that he was bragging about his stats in a loss a couple weeks ago. And then like last week or like 2 weeks ago, he was seen just like being on Snapchat or doing something like during a film session. And those are the reasons which led to his benching. Apparently.
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
That he's even doing that when you play for the Washington football team.
Right.
But also, Mike, I am doing this for the rest of the year. I am putting a mortal lock on this for the rest of the year, Mike, okay?
Okay.
For the rest of the year, that when Dallas is playing a game, you take the over.
Right.
Because their defense is trash.
Porous, bro. Porous. Sponge-like.
So I'm going the over 46 here. And I'm again, it's a -1, so it's basically a pick-em. I'm going Washington at home. They win the game and I just want to see chaos in the NFC least beast.
Yeah, dude. I want it too, man. If the Seattle Seahawks can go 7-9 and make the playoffs, that somebody in the NFC East can go 6-10 and make the playoffs. 2020, baby.
At this point, it's going to be like 5-10-1 for your Eagles.
Well, that'd be
ridiculous.
Imagine
they'll get a home game.
Yeah, dude. Imagine they get in there.
We're moving on.
No, 6-9-1. Eagles get in 6-9-1, and then they win all their games, right? And then so they're finished. So their finishing record would be like 10-9-1 or something like that.
Oh my god, I'd be so mad. Moving on.
That's the dream.
Yeah, I know it is, and it's going to be hilarious when it happens. It's exactly going to happen the way you say it.
I hope so.
Next one we got is we got Detroit at Atlanta. Again, another trash game. Atlanta is favored -2.5. The over-under is 56. A high over-under.
Oh, man.
But look at the teams we're talking about here, though.
Yeah, these teams like to put up points.
Well, no, they don't like to put up points. They give up points.
Well, they give up points.
Yeah.
Dude, I think you gotta go Falcons in this game.
I'll take the Falcons -2.5, but I'm definitely taking the over.
Yeah, I would take the over. I think like 60 points can be scored in this game easily.
Yeah, it's just I can't in good conscience take the under when these two terrible teams play.
Yeah.
Next game. Good another division round. We got a lot of division games this week, which I like.
That's cool.
We got Carolina at New Orleans.
Ooh, that should be a shootout.
-7.5.
Maybe
for
not.
New Orleans. Over under 51.5. Mike, what do we got here?
Carolina, for sure.
You like Carolina +7.5?
I don't know. I guess I just been down on the Saints, bro, since before the season started. Even like I was, like I don't know. I'm just not feeling the Saints this year, bro. I seem to be picking against them all the time, and all that, and
but
them being
the best wide receiver in the league, Mike. So I get that. Michael Thomas is not playing.
Yeah, but like -7.5. You know, that's a lot of points.
Too many points. Too many points.
It's a lot of points. I'm gonna roll with Teddy Bridge, but I'm looking for an under in this one too, though.
Yep.
For sure. Like
I'm gonna go New Orleans -7.5 and the under though. It's gonna be an under game.
Yeah, even though both those teams could score a lot of points, like what's the over under 51?
51.5 is very too much.
That like toes the line. I feel like that's like exactly what they're gonna get. All right, what's next?
Goddamn Vegas. It's like they know shit. It is Buffalo at the Jets. It's 13 for Buffalo. Over/under is 45.
Well, we're going Buffalo, man. The Jets are the worst team in the world right now. And there's no, I don't even know what to say about the Jets because they're such a lost franchise.
Yeah, I mean, you have to pick Buffalo here, but that makes me think, though, Mike.
Well, I'm going the under because I don't think the Jets can score points. But I think, but what do you think?
So I was thinking, like, this could be a kind of a trap game for Buffalo. Now, Buffalo's lost 2 in a row.
But Jets have only scored 7 touchdowns.
Right. So it's going to be an either or, Mike. It's going to be a trap game for Buffalo or a get right game for Buffalo. Right?
Yeah, it's got to be.
You know what I mean? So I guess, my heart is going with Buffalo minus 13, and I'm going to take the over because I think the Jets might score some points. And Buffalo, blows them out. Like, Buffalo has 40, and the Jets, score 1 touchdown. You know what I mean? It's going to be that kind of a game. Or they play so close because Buffalo's just in a rut that the Jets cover and hit the under. So I'm going to go with a pick 'em for the people on this game. You pick 'em. I would not bet this game.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't bet this game. There's a lot of other bad games to bet.
This is my non-bet of the week.
Yeah, don't bet this game. There's no answers on this game.
Nobody wins in this game.
Nobody wins. What's the next game?
Even if somebody wins. All right, yeah, thank God we're moving on. Green Bay at Houston. All right, before we even go to what the numbers are, Mike, Houston has been absolutely schedule fucked this year.
Right, they've been scheduled fucked.
All of the best teams in the first 7 weeks.
Yeah, and then they lose their coach and stuff, and then now they're playing Green Bay. But Houston's been playing up past couple weeks.
So minus 3.5 for Green Bay on the road against Houston.
Ridiculous.
The over/under is 57. That's very high.
Yeah, bro, but I don't know. I kind of like it. I think I like Houston. As much as Green Bay got kind of shellacked. After Aaron Rodgers seen in the end zone pelvic thrusting, he's Hingle McCringleberry.
Bro, I love that though. I thought that was very funny.
So funny, bro.
I'm glad he did it though.
Yeah, dude.
Aaron Rodgers is kind of like a stiff. He's kind of.
But he knows it though, but that's his humor.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I love it.
That was a good one. So I'm back on that board, but Mike, and so that's why I gotta go Green Bay. I think it's a bounce back game. I think they get minus 3.5, and I gotta go under here. 57 is just too many points, man. That's too much for me. Too much for my appetite. I don't think Houston's gonna score that much because they have a lot of problems on offense. So next game,
Houston in the over for me.
Houston and the over.
Very contrarian on that one. What's the next game though?
I like it though. I like we're not there for each other on that one.
Well, we were very simpatico on a lot of them, and then we gotta
get away from each other.
And then you did say that we shouldn't be betting on the Jets game, which is all of the it doesn't get smarter than that. If you were gonna bet on that game, maybe don't. Maybe put the phone down.
Yeah, no, don't do that shit. Don't bet. If you're betting on the Buffalo Jets game, you are a degenerate and you need help. Please seek help. The next one is going to be a 4:05 game, Mike. And it's going to be Seattle at Arizona. Another division game, okay? Arizona, big win playing the Cowboys.
Yes, sir.
Scored a shit ton of points.
But who hasn't?
Seattle minus 3.5.
All right. So the thing that I'm gonna say is
under 56, Mike. So you gotta. What do you think about those two numbers there for you?
Dude, the things that I know is that Arizona that was a fraud win against the Cowboys. That win against the Cowboys not telling. You should be pissed off at Christian Kirk. Catching 2 balls, scoring touchdowns, because I think we both drafted him in fantasy football.
I did, but I traded him.
Oh, you traded him, got rid of him. All right, so good. I let him go. I got rid of him, but he I saw him score, and I was just like, It's like, dude, this guy would catch 2 balls, score 2 touchdowns. Like,
Right,
come on, get the fuck
right.
out. So with that
Right.
being said, I'm going Seattle in this game. Seattle is America's team right now, and yeah, dude, it's Seattle in the over, man, for sure. Seattle in the under. 56 is a lot of points.
Yeah, so I'm going to go the under, and I'm actually going to go
with Arizona.
I'm going to go Arizona on this one.
Okay.
I like the division game. That division is so spicy right now.
Yeah, that's a good point that you make, John. Division game, they play tougher.
So I'm going to go I'm making your point that you made before with your Giants and Philly here.
Yeah.
The game that you and your dad have fisticuffs about.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going with Arizona on that one. I don't have any confidence in it, but I think that Kyler Murray, man, I don't know, man. I like him. I think he might be pretty decent. I think he might be able to play in this league, and we'll see what happens. Now, the next game, Mike, I got to toss it up to you before I say a goddamn word. It's the 4:25 game. San Francisco is playing in New England, barring any more COVID bullshit. And the Patriots are -2.5, -2. Patriots -2 at home. The over-under is 43.5 against San Francisco. Now, Mike, Jimmy G returns to Foxborough. What do you got?
I got the Patriots in the under.
Why?
Okay, you want to know why?
Well, yeah. Are we a bounce back game, or do we go 2-4? Are we 3-3 or 2-4? What do you?
Well,
think?
Dude. Honestly, there's no way. Belichick traded Jimmy G for a reason. He seeing him come back into Foxborough shouldn't mean a thing. The other thing that I know is New England needed time to practice, which we talked about. And so that's why I think that New England's going to win the game. But New England's been doing this great thing of winning games in weird way and playing ugly. They're doing a Chicago Bears type thing. They play ugly. San Francisco, they're kind of an ugly team. The only pretty person is Jimmy G, and he's not even that. He's not even that pretty when he's playing the quarterback position. So I think this
when
is.
He takes his helmet off, Mike. He's gorgeous. But yes,
right.
You're right.
But so that really leads me to think that it's going to be an under, and it's going to be like a 17-16 game.
Ooh,
yeah, I like the Patriots in this game for sure.
I like that. I'm taking the Pats, Mike. I got to take the Pats -2 at home. I have to do it. I just have to do it.
Yeah.
I may stay away from the over-under in this game. But if I had to pick, I'm going over, though. I think the Pats might score some points this time.
Points to be had.
Couple of goddamn practices, maybe.
Okay.
All right, next game.
Only a few games left.
No, I have 5 games left, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we got some games left here. Real quick, and we'll get them out of here. Kansas City at Denver.
Oh, there you go.
Kansas City -9.5, and the over/under at 46. Mike, I think it's an easy pick. I think you got to go Kansas City and the over here.
Yeah, I mean Denver sucks, man. Denver
and a big win against the Patriots. So and it's only at 46. I mean, Kansas City can put up a 40 on anybody. So.
Yeah, dude, that Denver win against the Patriots was probably like one of their biggest wins. It's going to be like their biggest win of the season. Denver sucks.
Letdown game. Denver's done.
Kansas City is the real deal.
Sunday night game. And we have another one. I don't know why these two are like below it, but it is what it is. The Sunday night game is going to be Tampa Bay at the Raiders.
Okay. Tampa Bay at the Raiders.
All right. -3 for Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And 53 for the over-under. Mike, what do you got?
Dude, man, that's fucked up, dude. I don't like that. I don't like that spread, and I don't like that over-under. I don't like that.
Pick one you don't want to do.
No, but I like I like the Raiders in this game, man. I think Tampa Bay proved that their defense is very good. I think for some reason, I just like the Raiders, man. And I just think that they'll come to play this week. I think that it'll be like I like +4. I think the Raiders could easily be in that window. So I like the Raiders and the under.
All right, so I'm going real quick. I'm just going Tampa Brady and the under though.
The under for sure.
I don't think that we're going to get that points, but Tom Brady does not lose in a brand new stadium based on the facts that I just made up in my head. All right.
Oh, bro, that sounds legit, dude. That sounds legit. You got
hold on to.
Got me thinking that I should be reconsidering.
Right, but that's something so dumb that you could be like, yeah, no, I could get behind that.
Yeah, no, I 100%.
That's a gambler's brain.
100%, bro. New stadium, Tom Brady.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Yes.
At Tennessee. This is the game of the week. This is at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock game, dude.
Pick them. Game of the week and it's a -1 for Tennessee at home. So call it a pick 'em. Mike, the over-under at 50.5. What do we got here?
Bro, I'm going to start this by saying that Derrick Henry is a beast.
Oh, my God.
Absolute monster.
Oh, my God.
And tennis.
This is the scariest runner I've ever seen.
Yeah. Absolute monster. And Pittsburgh lost Dan Bush, I think, and I don't think he's going to play. And he's an integral part of their defense. I think the defense will still play Derrick Henry tough. But, bro, like, that guy's going to hit you 20 times of the most bruising run-ins of your life. Like, how can you be that? It's like a DK Metcalf thing. How can you be that big and that fast? And
Metcalf, Cam Newton, and Henry, they're all in the same category, dude. Like, why do you play that position? You're that huge.
Yeah, he's insane. He's a beast. So I think
it's a pick 'em, Mike. So who you got?
I got Tennessee.
Okay.
Tennessee like and the under. I've been feeling the Pittsburgh a lot, and I like Pittsburgh. I do. I like everybody on Pittsburgh except Ben Roethlisberger. He's just whatever. He's just a whatever dude to me. But I really like Mike Tomlin. He's just Mike Tomlin has the greatest quotes in coaching of all time, and I like and the other thing, Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, very close. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, both in Pennsylvania, very close. I mean, Pittsburgh, they just manufacture wide receivers.
It's ridiculous.
It really is, and it goes back a long time. So I'm always marveled with that. But I think for sure, Tennessee in this one for sure. Tennessee.
I got Pittsburgh in the over. I'm gonna go against you on that one 100%. I love Pittsburgh throwing it out there. I don't think Tennessee's defense is as good as they think they are. Next game, that was.
I agree. I mean, I don't agree with you, but I agree that Tennessee's defense isn't as good as what they think they are. I think Pittsburgh's defense is very good. But no, see, the thing with Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh's defense is one of is like a top 3, top 5 defense in the league. But I think this week having this tough matchup against Henry and then potentially not having Devin Bush is critical. This is like so. I got a name for the Monday night game. But this game of Tennessee Pittsburgh, like that could be an AFC Championship preview. That could be like winner plays the Chiefs preview. That's like a playoff game, and so I think that's going to be top tier entertainment on Sunday.
Love it. That's the game of the afternoon games for sure. That's the one you want to watch. The one you don't want to watch here is going to be your 4:25 game, Mike, and it's going to be Jacksonville at the Chargers. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's gross.
And it is -8 for the Chargers at home, over under 49. Mike, let's not spend too much time on this one.
Okay, not spending too much time on this one. Jacksonville is trying. It seems to be trying to lose games, but they do it in a weird way. LA Chargers, they're going to be screwed if they don't have Keenan Allen. If Keenan Allen is not on the field, it doesn't bode well for them. because their other receivers haven't done much with him being on the field. So I can't see them doing a ton with him being off the field.
The word you were looking for there, Mike, was anything.
And
they haven't done anything.
And I believe, and I don't know the status of Eckler right now, but I think Eckler got hurt as well. Like,
right.
And so like Herbo is good. Like Justin Herbert, he's very good. I think he's pretty solid quarterback, but you don't want to be that banged up in your wide receiver core and with your skill positions on offense going against the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars, who are kind of buns to begin with. So I'm sorry for being kind of long, but I'm going Jacksonville in this game, like plus 7.5.
No, it's 8.
Plus 8? Yeah, dude, I'm going.
I think you got to go 8 with Jacksonville here.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of points, man. Whatever you do, over and under.
And the over. Yeah, absolutely. 49. I'm taking the over.
Dude, like, and
there will be points.
We're talking about receivers, man. In Jacksonville, they got some pretty good receivers too, and if those guys are healthy, I'd watch out. I think so. That bodes well for the points. But yeah,
Robinson, a pretty good running back.
Yeah, and Robinson's been pretty beast for them. He's got a great story.
On the waiver wire on week 2, not a big deal.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Anyway, the Monday night game, like you said, you had a name for it, but let's just call it out here. The last game of the week for the people, Monday Night Football, is going to be Chicago Bears at the LA Rams. And the line is going to be -6 for the Rams. The over-under at 45, which feels like the biggest Chicago Bears line over-under ever. I feel like every game that
what's the line?
Play is 45. 45.
Oh, that's the over-under. What's the spread?
-6.
Okay. And that's the biggest you're saying? For a Chicago game?
I'm saying the biggest, like the most like stereotypical Chicago Bears line is always 45. Like it's always right there where it could, you could see the defense play well, or you could see them give up some points.
Right. Yeah, it's tough.
And it's always right there. But Mike, I'm going to go first because you had a name for this game. All right, so I'm going to go first. I'm going to give the mic up to you.
All right, man. Whatever you want to do. You don't want to hear the name before you give the pick?
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and I know you're gonna beat me on this. I believe that I'm taking the Rams -6 here. Okay, and I'm taking the over. I actually think the Rams are gonna beat the fuck out of Chicago. I have no faith in Chicago at all, and I'm not a Rams believer, by the way. I don't believe in the Rams, but I believe in the Rams more than I do Chicago. Mike, take it away. What do you got?
Bro. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that answer because I was very conflicted coming into this game because of this whole Nick Foles thing and the inconsistency a little bit of the LA Rams. Hearing what you said, this game is very much are they for real? You better put up or shut up type of game. So it's a game that has two names because it's both of these things. And then after this game, you still might not even know if these teams are real. But I think if the Rams win, then maybe they're for real. Maybe. And truly I was gonna go with Chicago just because of Nick Foles' speech. But I can't do that, man. I think the Rams are a pretty solid dark horse type of franchise. I think they play tough. You can say what you want. I think maybe, again, they played against the Giants and things like that. But, like, they had a tough, they're on the road, all these things. They're playing a tough opponent. I'm going to watch this game. Like, I don't watch all the, NFL action as it's going on live because, like, I got some stuff invested in it. I don't want to watch it sometimes. It gives me anxiety. I got other things to be doing. But there's certain games that I watch where, it's the Eagles and such. But this Monday Night Football game, I think 100% I'm watching, like, start to finish. I think it's going to be a great, great game. And I like Chicago +6. That's just enough points for me to pick the Rams. Like, that's just enough points. And then I'm gonna take the under in this game. I don't think it's gonna go over 45. Based on how the Rams have been playing and the type of teams that they've been playing, like they've been winning a little ugly lately, and I think this is gonna be one of those games. Like it's like you said about that Chicago defense, man.
Who knows about it, man? But Mike, we got through the NFL here.
A lot of picks, a lot of analysis.
Got anything before we wrap it up here?
All right. My last thing here is just want the people to have fun and be safe, man. You know, keep being safe. You know, we're getting into a potential flu season. I'm hearing all sorts of things about uptake COVID cases and whatnot. I just I want everyone to go out there and have fun, do the things you want to do, but I gotta be socially aware. You gotta be aware of yourself. You gotta be aware physically, and I just want everyone to be safe and take care of yourselves, man, and listen to this podcast, Coldest It Takes.
I think you have to listen to the Coldest It Takes. We try to bring the most positivity to everybody who listens. I really enjoy everybody who tunes in. It's a very fun thing that Mike and I do once a week, just to even talk. It's a fun.
Hell yeah.
It's a fun thing that I bet you if we were at a bar sitting next to each other and you were listening to Mike and I talk, you would chime in with a nice opinion. And I love that, and I love the people who listen to us. So at Coldest It Takes on all platforms, find me on Twitter and Instagram, and find Mike. But always go subscribe, unsubscribe, get us back, and we love the feedback. We love you guys very much, Mike.
That's right, dude.
Soon, right?
Yeah, very soon. John, that was very eloquent. Make sure you follow John at John J. Pat. He's the man on Twitter. You can follow me also on Twitter at st_Katzler. But make sure you're listening to the Coldest It Takes. Like John said, like I said, it's available everywhere. And yes, it is a podcast. But no, it feels like you are just hanging out with us and we are having a good time. We love doing it, and we're very thankful for you guys. And then, John, I'm thankful for you, man. You sounded great tonight, and I think we had a blast, like 100%. Hell yeah!
And I love bringing it to everybody. And we'll see you soon. All
right, my guy. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. And that was it for the Coldest It Takes tonight, and we'll look for you guys on the next one. Peace.